following on from the GT5 Cup, you took up the Praga Cup towards the end of 2021. You came and joined that team for a few races at the end. How does the Praga differ from the GT? Because obviously downforce, all these different factors, just a completely different car.
Yeah, huge difference. For me, I think one of the biggest things that I kind of pride myself on, and one of my skills. One of the biggest weapons in my armor is how fast I'm able to get up to speed in a car that I've never driven before.
Okay.
I like finding the speed fast, because obviously we're on limited time. We don't have a lot of testing. And that's one of the big things I learned with not having any budget. I don't like to waste time. So I get out, I get up to speed, and then I can focus on having the rest of the day and finding the final tenths.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the Praga, I remember hopping in. The aerodynamics came very naturally to me. Was very, very comfortable with it straight away. Once again,
I think that was evident from your races as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, I actually did 2021 with Abby Eaton from the Grand Tour.
Yeah.
Initially, and Abby was great. She was very, very lovely. And then, of course, at the end of the year, hopped into the car with Jimmy, and managed to help him achieve his goal of getting the podiums.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I came across you in 2021 Praga Cups, where I first started noticing your name and really paying attention.
Yeah.
And that was the thing to me. So I like what you're saying there. So that almost sounds like a valuable skill, because I've never thought about it until you mentioned there. There's very few drivers that only drive the one car all year round. So it's all good being fast in your favorite car again and again and again, but it's almost like a skill you should really focus on is your ability to find what makes each car take you get in. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, for me, you look at a lot of other drivers my age, and a lot of them
20 years old, by the way. What a fantastic achievement at 20 years old.
So a lot of other drivers my age you look at the high majority of them, and they're only driving one car for an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
For me, to make sure, that, obviously, but budget is a huge thing that I always have in mind, because it's something that we just don't have. So it just means that I need to work that bit harder. So, if I can make a bit of money with racing the classics, then absolutely I'll do it. And yes, I think the classics is great for it. It's also really, really good for learning mechanical sympathy as well, because these cars are a lot older. They're a lot more susceptible to things like over revving. You need to take care of the brakes, especially in something like a Jaguar E-Type. So yeah, it teaches you a lot of skills. But yeah, a high majority of drivers my age will only drive one car for the entire year. So what I'm doing is quite unique in that aspect, where, in a single year, I'll end up driving, 6 to 7 different types of cars.
Wow. So I assume the other drivers kind of develop a bit of almost complacency, not complacency as in they're getting lazy approach to it, but you assume all cars will have the same characteristics then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that you need, the thing is, you need to get up to speed fast. When you don't have the full budget for testing, but you still need to do it in the right way. You can't rock up and you can't, be bashing the curbs out in lap one. That's not what I mean. You need to build up the speed in a calculated way, but do it very, very quickly. And there's a real skill to that. Because you can imagine, for manufacturers looking in from the outside, if you're rocking up and in the very first practice session you're putting the car off the track, and the car's damaged, it's not good. you need to, go everything that you do has to be professional. Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, that's really. It's actually I love hearing these type of in depth nuances that you only hear from people that do what you guys do.
Yeah.
So I forget I'm hosting a podcast. It's a real problem because I become so invested in the story. I'm like, oh, this is so interesting. I think you're the one asking him the next question. You're like, oh, great.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on now. So this was just before you were in the Pragas again.